Top 5. Tensions rising again between Russia and NATO. The Russian Foreign Ministry says Moscow will respond to the organization's planned troop deployment in Poland and the Baltic countries. Moscow says that NATO's decision to station 4 battalions in the regions is, quote, a very dangerous military buildup. Earlier, the Russian Defense Ministry said that it will add 3 new military divisions to its forces to counter what it described as NATO's threat and growing strength near Russian borders. The deployment will take place before the end of this year. Tensions flared up between the two sides in the past few years over Ukraine. Since then, NATO has been beefing up its troops near Russia's western borders.
Kyle Halal Yahbashim Al Shai. Double honesty, apostles GMS. Ownership offers to be pushing this truth and sincerity. Okay, it's going to be a relatively quick video based on the 3 articles plus this video that I got before you. And it's basically going to be dealing with the situation that's that the Lord is having happen out there within Europe, within sort of Eastern Europe, as you're going to see in these different articles I've got here. And I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible because this is a topic that I do pretty often. But ultimately, what you're seeing just there with what this gentleman just said in the first sort of 10 seconds of this video is a fulfillment of scripture, where it is said that the Most High will put hooks within the jaws of Russia and drag them out into the war. Okay, that the Most High is going to have happen out there within Eastern Europe and going into the Middle East. And when you go into the book of Joel, the 3rd chapter, which is ultimately going to be speaking about the valley of Jehoshaphat, okay, and that's going to turn into the mountain of troops, which is as spoken about within Armageddon, because when you translate that word Armageddon, it translates to a mountain of troops. Okay, so without much further ado, I'll start off with the first article. Probably just gonna hit a few quick points on there. Like I said, for us, the people that are in the know, this is becoming like day-to-day news, man. All right, and the way Esau's got this thing popping off, all right, if I wouldn't be too surprised, the average person just thinks this is just another situation and nothing's gonna come out of it, or if something comes out of it, it's gonna be so mundane, right? That they ain't gonna people ain't gonna really see what's gonna be hitting them. But see, this is gonna be a world changing event. Okay, this is gonna be the absolute epiphany of chaos. Okay, and Esau needs that chaos. All right, that's why you got it right now to where the dollar is in such a bubble, in such a debt bubble, that when it does best, it's going to create so much chaos. And you're also going to have this thing with the war, so you're going to have you're going to have it to where nukes and bombs and all of that is going to be flying all over the place. It's actually going to be ridiculous, man. All right, the amount of chaos that Esau's going to pull through with all of these things that are happening out there. And also, you have to know that he's got this these genetically modified diseases that are out there. Okay, you're gonna get all kind of chaos, man. All right, and he needs that chaos so that the people are gonna say, "What? Please give unto us a system where this chaos doesn't exist." And the only system that they're gonna offer them out of this is a system based off the RFID chip that we know today as the so-called New World Order, man. Okay. All right, that's going to be served, that's going to be manifested by way of serving Satan. Okay, and if I'm not mistaken, I read a book not too long ago that pretty much what they want these people to do is become on the level of like 3rd-degree Masons without initiating, man. So that's why they persistently pushing out that low-level illuminated or Masonic vibration out there, whether you're watching the TV or listening to music. So you become acclimatized to it. Okay, you become acclimatized to their Luciferian doctrine, man. I wish really Luciferian is not the right term to push out there, because really Luciferian, right? Really, that's like a you could almost say that's a righteous term, because if I remember correctly, don't quote me on it, and then next thing I know, there's a video on me, but if I remember correctly, the word Lucifer just means light bearer. Okay, and I believe the synonym to Lucifer is actually just Luke. Okay, But they'll have you. But really, what I'm saying is their vibration is about Satan dealing with the left hand side, and we're about dealing with the right hand side. Okay, so when they push that agenda of chaos, they want everybody to accept the order that they're gonna bring forth that is based off the left hand vibration, whereas the Messiah is gonna have it to where as he's trying to achieve that, he's actually bringing forth our new world order. Because see, what people don't realize is this is all happening for Israel. So in them seeking that so-called new order that's going to take them away out of that chaos, they're actually deep down seeking for that new world order that's going to be by way of the righteousness as spoken about within the book of Deuteronomy, furthermore Daniel, the second chapter on the 44th verse, where it talks about, and the days of these kings, so the Most High set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. It ain't going to be given to other people. So that's what they're going to, ultimately, that's going to be brought forth, man. And the Most High is using them to get to this climax to where he's going to think, look, we're about to achieve it. But just like how the book of Job said, we're in the fullness of his sufficiency shall it be in straits. So he's going to be in difficulties. And we're the biggest thorn in Esau's heel right now. We're his biggest difficulty because, yeah, you can touch a few of the men of the Lord, but we know ultimately the Lord ain't going to, because the Lord does pull down that heads on from time to time, depending on what lot the Most High has allotted you with. However, for the most part, you ain't going to be able to touch the men of the Lord. Okay? So it says NATO boosts up in Eastern Europe, confirms deployment of 4 multinational battalions. Okay? Now, what's important to note as well, all of these are going to turn against the whore as prophesied within the scriptures, man. Okay, and that whore is America. All right, which when you see NATO, really you got to think America, because I believe, no, it's not so much a belief. We know that the whore sits on top of NATO, which is the beast, man. Okay, with 10 heads and 7 horns, man. Okay, and if my memory serves me correctly, those are 10 European, 10 common European common markets. Okay, so it says there, and after a NATO meeting in Brussels, the Alliance Secretary Jens Stoltenberg confirmed that it plans to deploy 4 multinational battalions in the Baltic states and Poland. Excuse me. All right, and it says while President Putin has ordered snap inspections for Russia's. Okay, so he says on Tuesday NATO agreed to deploy a new 4,000 strong force in the Baltic states, Poland. All right, and it says NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, after a meeting of the bloc's minister in Brussels, it says the move is seen as part of an effort aimed at protecting its Eastern European allies from Russia. Okay, and whenever you see statements like protecting and so on and so forth, you gotta really read it with the forked tongue glasses and see and extrapolate what he really means by that. Whenever he speaks of peace, think of war. That's how this man rolls. Okay, he says which NATO apparently receives as a threat. All right, perceives as a threat. So NATO perceives the Russian influence as a threat. All right, but really Russia ain't doing too much. Really they're the aggressor, man, and you can see that people are, well, the people that are under the propaganda spell ain't gonna see that, but the people that are in the know, they really know that America is is the aggressor, and that all goes back onto prophecy wherewith it is said the Lord is gonna bring hooks within the jaws of Russia. It says NATO seeks encircling Russia in Cold War 2.0. Okay. All right, what's the difference between this Cold War and the Cold War of before? Well, this Cold War, all right, and if I'm not mistaken, one of those Cold Wars led into a world war, if my history of war serves me correctly, but don't quote me on that, all right? But like I was saying, this Cold War 2.0 differs from others because you got so many nuclear powers. Someone's gonna press the red button, and then everybody else is gonna have to press that red button, man. And you got a nuclear war right there, as pursuant to the scriptures, man. 2 Peter's the 3rd chapter, Isaiah the 13th chapter talks about how America's gonna be turned into a desert, man. Okay, and numerous scriptures alike, man. Does not the scriptures say that the Lord's sword is bathed in Idumea? What's the modern day sword? It's ICBM nuclear missiles, man. All right. So let's read on a little bit with this. It says, the Western alliance policy towards Russia is aimed at several things: restoring the hegemony, right, it had before, punishing Russia and boosting the military budget of NATO members, says former Belgian MP Londe Benoust. Okay, so they're looking to increase their budget, and they're looking to encircle Russia. And I've done various videos on that, and I've showed you pretty much, if you follow the mouse and you use your imagination, you've got Russia over here, and all of those states, the so-called NATO states along Russia's border, they all got garrisons there, man, battalions, if you will. Okay, so what he says there, in terms of the monetary side of it, is going to be spoken about within this article. It says, citing Russian aggression, and really when they put this at Sputnik out there in Russia, they're being rhetorical here. That's what you know as a rhetorical statement. Not rhetorical statement. That's what you know as sarcastic. Okay, so they're being sarcastic, and they're saying, citing Russian aggression, NATO urges members to contribute more money. All right, it says, as NATO dramatically increases. I ain't even reading this with enough power for what's going on here, man. Because ultimately, like I said, man, there's so much articles like this nowadays, man. All right, because this thing is speeding up, man. Okay, and for the people that I know, you get excited about it when when them articles come, but after a while, you're just like, man, damn. Okay, this thing is really getting closer now, man. You can damn near feel it. Okay, all right. So it says, as NATO dramatically increases its presence in Eastern Europe, Secretary General Stoltenberg and U.S. Defense Secretary Ashton Carter are pushing alliance members to provide more money for the cause. All right, and he says, repeatedly citing consistency debunked claims of Russian aggression. All right, furthermore, it says, repeatedly citing constantly debunked claims of Russian aggression. Okay, and it says, and there's never been such an amassing of hostile military force on Russia's western frontier. All right, remember, like I said, you've got Russia down here, you got northeast, west, northeast, south, and then you got west, and along. If you follow the mouse, pretend the mouse is the ball, is the edge of Russia. All of those, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, and so on and so forth. They all got battalions in there with American troops in there, man. Okay, and I wonder what they got them there for, man. Because they ain't no holiday destination, Okay, it says, and there's never been such an amassing of hostile military force on Russia's western frontier since June 1941, when Hitler invaded the Soviet Union. All right, Hitler being German, and they've invaded Russia, man, Soviet Union. Okay, the old Soviet Union. Okay, and says, and that's the way Russia sees it. All right, so that's how they're seeing it, and as a result, you got them now reacting to that, which is all steps to what we're looking forward to, man. Okay, the destruction of this society, destruction of this kingdom. All right. So with that, I must say, all praise unto Yahweh, Shemi Al Shai, double honors to the apostles of GMS. All praise, honors to you brothers that have been pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.